Alright, finally got my hands on this bad boy. CM Punk Best in the World DVD, all sealed up and nice. But today it is not Tuesday, today is Friday. Managed to get this early thanks to the folks at Kmart. So if you want to pick this up early, try your luck at your local Kmarts. In mine they had like 3 available, so pick it up if you want this early. But yeah, really excited for this DVD ever since the rumors, ever since they officially announced it, ever since everything, the previews, the trailer, everything. Can't wait to pop this sucker in. Let's do it. CM Punk, Best in the World, and let's pop it in. Let's review it. Peace. Just got through the DVD, and this documentary was great. It was amazing. Didn't disappoint. In my opinion, this DVD is one that you have to get no matter what. Whether you're a CM Punk fan, you're not a CM Punk fan, you love Punk, you hate Punk, definitely a must own. Now let's start the review with going over the cover as usual. Here we have CM Punk with the white Chicago star, red Chicago star this time, Best in the World 3-disc set. There you have Punk holding the mic pipe bomb. Go to the side, CM Punk. There you have CM Punk, blue star this time, Best in the World 3-disc set. Go to the back. This is not just a DVD, it's a pipe bomb. Here, reading, as usual. For the first time I ever experienced the rise of CM Punk with CM Punk Best in the World. From his early days in the Indy circuit all the way to him becoming the voice of the voices himself. Witness what is CM Punk in this revolutionary 3-disc set. And the last stanza right there. Find out what CM really stands for, why he's straight edge, what inspires his blistering pipe bomb rants, and more. And for the pictures you have Punk and Jericho at WrestleMania 28. Punk David shoot promo, and there Punk gesturing to go to sleep. There you have Punk again. Here includes over 4 hours of career-defining matches, hand-selected by CM Punk himself, including actions from his early days in OVW and ECW, his breakout Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 24, battles from his Straight Edge Society days, epic main events versus John Cena, Chris Jericho, and Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, plus an extra 30 minutes of revealing interviews, stories, and more. And it is TV 14 for any of you wondering or did not know. Open it up. If Punk loses, we riot. There you have Punk, and from the shoot promo, Day Again, they have a quote from the shoot. Day in and day out for almost 6 years, I have proven to everybody in the world that I am the best. On this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary, nobody can touch me. CM Punk, June 27, 2011. There you have Punk holding the WWE Championship. And I think that's after he cashed in on Edge and won the world title for the first time. Best in the World. Open it up, and here you have the listing for the documentary, special features, disc 2 with the matches, and disc 3 again with the matches. I'll read you the listing for the documentary portion here. I think you guys can see it, but I'll go ahead and read it anyways. A New Day, Space Boy, Backyard Fame, Taken to the Road, Launching Pad, Consistently Learning, Dark Cloud, Not the Prototype, Outcast Champion, Having Fun, A Challenge, Saving Society, Frustrated Beyond Belief, Hometown High Pressure Situation, The Man. Here, this one with the red star. CM Punk, Chicago, Money in the Bank 2011. Who can forget that day? This 2 now with the gray star. Him about to give Daniel Bryan an elbow drop. Over the Limit 2011, 2012. And last but not least, there's 3 with the blue star. Him at WrestleMania 28 here in Miami with the WWE Championship. Alright, so we kicked off the documentary with a quote from CM Punk, basically saying, he was saying that he's a guy who should have never made it to the WWE. He's had so many roadblocks thrown in front of him, but what he did with those roadblocks is that he got over it, he got through them, and while he was getting through those roadblocks, all he did was flip off the people who put the roadblocks in front of him in the first place. And then he was also saying how he feels it's his responsibility now to lead the future generation of wrestling into a safe and good path. And now we kicked off with Punk talking about how he never really had a good relationship with his blood family, his brother, his mother, and his father. And now, he said that he really never got what he wanted from his family, or what he needed from his blood family. So what he did was he went to go live with his best friend Shalene, and he basically got adopted. No, not Shalene, that's his sister. Well, I botched that. His best friend Chez. I botched that one. He went to go live with his best friend Chez, and he felt that at one point he basically got adopted by Chez's family. And then after he goes in depth about his family and whatnot, he starts talking about one story that can pretty much say that story pretty much got him to go on the straight edge lifestyle. And the story was that his father was late, his blood father was late to pick him up in Little League. And when he finally arrived, he was intoxicated, he was drunk and all that. And on the way home, he was vomiting and all that. And when Punk looked back, he said, "My old man didn't look like he was having fun. He looked like crap. That's not fun." So from that day on, he said that he was never going to touch a sip of alcohol in his life. So that's a story that pretty much, got him to go the straight edge lifestyle. And after that, we go on to him talking about his high school days and how he kind of felt like an outcast because he liked what other people thought was nerdy, pro wrestling and comics. And eventually he would find the straight edge crew. And he felt like he could just be with them no matter what, because they didn't care what type of clothes he wore, what type of things he liked. He just felt like he was there with one of his own. And from there we start going over Punk's straight edge life. You had one of his friends talking about it. You had Punk talking about it, obviously. You had also Lita talking about it. Then afterwards we go into Punk's story of how he got hooked onto wrestling. And that's the whole, when he saw Piper smashing Snuka's head in with a coconut. And how Piper's personality reminded him of Punk's. He wasn't the big guy, and his mouth, how he liked to talk shit. Punk liked to talk shit and piss people off. Then we go into Punk's backyard wrestling days in the LWF, and how a lot of people actually showed up to the shows. You had like 200 to 300 kids there, and he made a lot of profit off those shows. After they're done going over Punk's backyard wrestling days, you have Punk saying that now he wanted to take things seriously and he wanted to go get trained, so he found Steel Domain Wrestling. And eventually we would get to where he met Colt Cabana, when both guys came from different part of the world. And Punk was like, Cabana said like he was like the dirty kid, how he thought like he was like the dirty kid and all that, and how Cabana came from like a rich part of the family, something like that. But they bonded because of their love for pro wrestling. And they're also, they talk about their matches that they had, because Cabana and Punk had so many great matches that he got a lot of buzz, and now every independent show out there at that time wanted to get Cabana and Punk to come do one of the matches because of the buzz they had. And then after they talk about his training and whatnot, Steel Domain, and the relationship he had with Cabana, we go on to him in the Indy days with Ring of Honor and IWS. We first start off with IWS, and here he covers the feuds he had with Chris Hero and Raven. With Raven, he felt he did great when it came to promos, and with Hero, he was the first person that he said that he felt magic within the ring. And also, his ex-girlfriend Natalie came up with the whole persona for him to do the "I'm straight edge, I'm better than you" thing. So, because he had no idea what to do, and his girlfriend's like, "Hey, do that," and Punk's like, "You know what? That's genius. That's gold. I love it." And then eventually we go on to Ring of Honor, and he covers the Punk Joe trilogy, and he also covers really in depth the Summer of Punk. If you guys don't know what it is, those are the final months that Punk had in Ring of Honor. And Punk said that he went to an office, and the guy, man, what was the guy's name? Gabe Sapolsky. Yeah, Gabe Sapolsky. He's like, "Oh, you signed the contract, didn't you?" Punk's like, "Yeah, I did." And they're like, "Okay, fine. You know what? We're gonna make this a storyline." So the storyline was that supposedly Punk was supposed to have his last match for the Ring of Honor World Championship, win it or lose it, and then he left. So Punk that night won the Ring of Honor World Championship. Everyone thought that he was leaving, he's done. That was everyone's mindset at the time, that he's done, he's leaving Ring of Honor. But what really happened was that he stayed for a couple more months, and he turned heel that night. He's like, "Oh, you stupid mindless people fell for it. and he turned heel. You know, even Kurt Hawkins was there that night where he won the championship, and Hawkins is like, I was pretty sure he's leaving, but when he turned heel and he cut that promo on all of us, I was like, what the fuck's going on? So that was cool. They covered a little bit more of the Summer of Punk, you know, where Punk signed the contract on top of the Ring of Honor World Championship, and then the final match that he had in Ring of Honor with Colt Cabana, and Punk was saying how emotional he got, and it's true because there's footage in here moments before he had the match with Cabana where you see Punk crying, and he said that he didn't want to leave that place. You know, he felt like not only his hard work but everyone else's hard work paid off. That's where he saw it happen. And then eventually we would go on to him getting called up to WWE, but him getting called up to OVW and ECW. And this covers a lot of Punk and Heyman's relationship. You know, when it came to OVW, they were saying how Punk was pissed that he got called up there and not WWE, not the main roster. And Heyman as well, he was saying, how can you call this guy up to OVW? How come nobody in Raw or SmackDown is getting this guy now? Like, are they crazy? Because Heyman thought that he had the potential to be the next top star, the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he was shocked that nobody was recognizing them. And also, what Punk was saying, he's like, you know what, I don't know when I'm going to get drafted, but you know what, let's make my time here in OVW worth it, let's give it a shot. And eventually we were going now to ECW, and again, just Heyman and Punk covering more backstage stuff on why he wasn't getting called up to Raw or SmackDown. They also cover his championship run with John Morrison. He was saying that him and Morrison didn't really have a good connection the first 3 matches that he had with him, because they were trying to fit 15-minute things into 5-minute matches. And that wasn't really working out, but the last shot he had at Morrison and the championship, he clicked with Morrison that night. He said that that's one of the best matches that he had in his career. And it was funny because when you won the ECW championship, he was thinking in his head, you know what, I won this championship, but now let's see how long we can run with it, see how far this goes, because he was thinking, you know, he was counting days on when he was going to get released. He thought that he was going to get released any day now. And then afterwards, they cover a little bit more of ECW. Then we finally go on to when Punk got called up to the main roster. Okay, Punk being called up to the main roster is where I'm going to leave it in this point of the video. The only reason I'm making a part 2 is because I do not have the feature here on YouTube, which allows you to go 15 minutes over a video, because I have a copyright strike against me. So part 2 will be up real soon. Hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of the CM Punk Best in the World DVD review. And yeah, so stay tuned for part 2. Later, guys.